we're assuming that the sixth graders would be split pretty even, half and half. So half of that would be 286. So based on those numbers, just quick math, if the sixth grade academy is at 471 and you split that in half, that would be 236 students would go to Hoover, and this year they have 473, which would put them at 736, which would be 50 over the functional capacity.
5706.
It would be. Oh, I'm sorry, I transposed my numbers. You're right. Thank you.
Help them out, Penny.
So I think if you look at this from this packet, it says maximum capacity is 675. So, and 875. What is the functional capacity?
You have it right there.
This is,
That's it. That's the functional. That's the latest functional capacity that Thor did in December.
This says maximum capacity, and there's a difference. We got into problems with the other plans that we tried to propose, or that were proposed to the board, that the students wouldn't actually fit in the buildings, and so we'd have to have hallway desk and all sorts of teachers on carton and classes in the cafeteria when the quadrant plan was formed. So that's why I asked about functional capacity. Can you have people eating in a timely manner, having assemblies, hall passing time? That's all involved in functional capacity. Getting into the building, out of the building in a safe, timely manner, not maximum capacity. There's building maximum capacity that's set by fire code, and then there's functional capacity. So was that looked at, functional versus building capacity?
It was. So I think we're clear that we need to get further information before we go forward with these proposals. I think Mrs. Winnie has pointed out a good time frame for us to...
well, my question is if we can get the answers to those questions for the April 11th meeting.
I'm actually going to make a suggestion as we go forward with that, and really I think the most efficient way to do this is not to go back and forth with question and answers, but to sit down as a group with the committee and talk through these individually, because the dynamic we saw here a few minutes ago is proof that that is far more efficient than writing questions and emailing back and forth.
And I can agree with that, Tom, to a point, but when we're talking here about this functional capacity and we meet with the committee, if Thor's not there, he's the one that would give us the number on. So this has to be directed to him to get us the answer.
But you're actually reinforcing exactly my point, which is we need to have all the members of the committee and the board together to talk through these. I completely support what you're saying.
Is Thor on that committee?
He was asked to come in as kind of an expert.
Okay.
He came to us 3 or 4 meetings.
Yeah, because we needed that knowledge to the point you were.
Because we had the same kind of questions you did, and he's the one who shed light on, what our buildings are really like, like talking about the water flow for the boiler at Kennedy. I would have never known that.
Correct.
Okay, John, April is still, Teresa's saying still good date, they can still make it happen.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, but I'm trying to give like deadlines to all this stuff.
Yeah, very good.
April will come, we won't have answers, and then we'll be in the end of April and 1st of May, and then it's too late, so.
If tomorrow we find out the answers about according to what utilities and maintenance says, and the actual numbers that Dan Cresbaugh says, and we put that in an email to everyone, and we give everybody the numbers that we have, I guess number one, will it be believable? Because that's always what we hear. Well, can we believe those numbers or can we not believe those numbers? And then, can we then just make a decision? I don't know. But I know that we can ask those questions tomorrow on company time and we can get all those answers.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that would take care of number.
Off right now, so that depends on if we can get a hold of him.
Okay.
And also involving the building administrators, because Thor isn't an expert on functional capacity. It's what needs to run in the buildings. So Thor can tell you how maximum capacity, how many bodies are there. It's up to the building administrators and teachers to say whether that amount of students will fit in to be able to run the classes and the programs that need to be run in the building.
And
both-
Mr. Riley, may I just say that both of my middle school principals were ready to do this last year. They felt that they could have handled it quite well last year, and this year there has been no difference in the discussion. They believe that those sixth grade students should be there, they want them in their buildings, and they know that they can make it work.
And I've heard that come out of at least Trish Patrick.
Okay, so my only question would be then, from moving the sixth graders into the middle school last year to moving the sixth graders into the middle school for next year, what are the numbers going to be? Because the number will be different. I'm assuming it's lower.
We need to get the
But if
projections
we can
for
get
next
that
year.
number,
Yeah.
and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they had it in writing, but there was a plan for how they were going to do lunches,
Yep.
and all of
Their
that.
own passing time.
Did they
their
have
own
that in
lunchtime.
writing?
No, I
anywhere?
don't think they went that far, because it never
Okay.
was approved, so.
So, the number, and if I remember correctly, if I'm not mistaken, at Hoover, from what we were told from the functional capacity to what was going in there, it was over the functional capacity last year. I don't think West was, but am I right on that one or wrong on that one? But can we find that out?
We can
Because
find
that
that
would be an issue.
Absolutely.
The bottom line to combining any of these schools is there going to be room for the students? And are they going to be able to learn in a comfortable setting? I'm not an advocate personally of classes on a cart, but
Agreed, agreed.
And when we were, when the sixth grade academy was up last time, I talked to Mrs. Toko, and she said that she could do it as well.
Yeah,
So,
she did.
Yep.
When my children were at Holland, they had music on a cart, they had gym class, more outside than inside, the gym was being used, the library was being used for classroom time, and it wasn't ideal. There were
Is it?
a
Holland?
huge
Well,
number of splits. during
Holland's
that
the
time.
smallest elementary we have though, you know?
And I'll just go on the record with that closing the sixth grade last year, and I was not an advocate for it, and I don't think I made any bones about my opinion.
You didn't.
I was against having a vacant building on a high school campus. I just didn't think it was a good idea for the students at that particular time. But with the plan that we have now, there's an end to it, which we didn't have last year. And then there was the question of closing it, and then if we reopened it, you had to meet all the ADA things and all that. So that was the big driving force for me. And if I remember correctly, there was an issue with the number of people in one of the middle schools. So if we can get that information, we can possibly at the next meeting make a decision on that one.
And that's part of the old plan, what I brought up, questions that weren't answered from that discussion back then, still aren't answered.
Well, and with that though, last year, the one plan that we had was to close the sixth grade. Now there's a larger scale plan, and I think the idea is that the buildings aren't actually going to be used for anything, but there's also a possible closure of, careful on my words, of Kennedy, so we wouldn't have a high school campus next to the Lincoln building, so. Okay, so we'll get answers for number 4, numbers,
And 5.
functional capacity, and 5, those are connected?
Correct.
Okay. All right, moving along here. We've got 6 and 7 already,
Correct.
no. Number 6, we need clarification.
Yes, the
Number 7, that one, we're possibly ready to vote on tonight.
okay.
Number 6, we do need to get some answers to those questions on whether that can happen.
The layout.
Layout, well, the file issue, or of the moving that they said could not happen. We need to make sure that that's something that can be done or not be done. And then maybe we can get answers to that and vote on that one next meeting. Number 8, is this the closing? Yes, this is the closing of the high school. well, actually not close, the starting of the closing.
Phased.
It's moving the ninth grade
Correct.
students to one building.
It is.
Correct.
But you have to look at the end of it too. If we're not gonna close the high school at some point, there's no reason to move the ninth graders. So
This would be a phase one of that.
it'd be the phase one of that. So, what would be our concerns, questions, answers to questions we need? Again, I guess possibly the